The gentlelady from California, Ms. Spear.
Mr. Chairman, you know, it's ironic that you said that, Mr. Chairman, since Mr. Thompson would not even engage with the Democratic side of the aisle in terms of answering any series of questions. But let me first of all say to the family members, we lost extraordinary servants to this country. You lost loved ones. And there's nothing that we can say that will ever heal your huge loss. But know that we will do everything in our power to make sure that other families do not go through what you're going through. To you, Mr. Hicks, thank you for your extraordinary service. You know, as you were retelling the events, and they were harrowing, it reminded me of an experience that I had, similar, in a foreign country, ambushed, and a sense that we were woefully underprotected. And I think as part of what we're going to glean from this today is that we have got to do a much better job of providing protection in high-risk, high-threat embassies and consul offices around the world. It was inadequate, and I'm troubled by the fact that General Ham withdrew additional support because they had been engaged in a carjacking. If anything, that would heighten our concern, and we would create more support. Let me, though, ask you a question. You said earlier today that the lawyers at State told you not to talk to Mr. Chaffetz when he came. That's what I wrote down, and would you just verify that that's what you said?
We were not to be personally interviewed by Congressman Chaffetz.
Now, in your interview with the committee, you were asked the question, excuse me, did you receive any direction about information that Congressman Chaffetz shouldn't be given from Washington? And your answer was, no, I did not. Is that still your testimony today?
I don't recall that phrase, and
well,
I thought that I said, and I'd have to review again, that I did receive instructions exactly as I said them, but I did not know who gave them to me, because I did not have, at that time, have access to my email from my time as DCM in Tripoli.
If the gentlelady could just tell us what page of the transcript that's on.
Maybe the staff can get it for me. I'm reading from a separate
thank you.
document. You did say that you were told to make sure other State Department officials were present for meetings with Representative Chaffetz. As you stated, they told me not to be isolated with Congressman Chaffetz. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I mean by not to have a personal interview with Congressman Chaffetz.
Okay, so it was more about not being in a situation where you did not have other people with you. Is that correct? As opposed to not being interviewed.
And again, that's what I said, not to have not to be personally interviewed by Congressman Chaffetz.
It said, well, you said they told me not to be isolated with Congressman Chaffetz.
That's the meaning of isolated, not to be personally interviewed.
There was a classified briefing for Mr. Chaffetz that no other State Department official was able to attend, and you testified earlier. So as a result, no other State Department officials can confirm what was said if there was a mischaracterization after the fact. So when Representative Chaffetz returned to Washington and attended this committee's hearing in October, there was a great deal of controversy about his description of that classified briefing. Did you by chance watch the hearing?
Actually, I didn't, but I don't think I said that no State Department official was allowed in that
Well,
the annex briefing. In fact, I was in that briefing, David McFarland was in that briefing, and the RSO, John Martinick, was in.
the attorney was not.
The attorney was excluded by the annex chief for clearance purposes.
Okay, when you received a call from Cheryl Mills, actually, let me ask you a different question.
The gentlelady's time has expired, but go ahead and ask your last question quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think you deserve to have a post in a location that you desire. So I would like to ask you, where would you like to be posted?
The Court of King James is out of the question.
The country I would most like to go to, is that the question
Yes.
that you're and be assigned to? You know, I'd really want to talk to my decision maker, chief decision maker in my family, who's sitting right over here, my wife, because I think her opinion is more important than mine on that point.
And so just to conclude, Mr. Chairman, I believe...
He really is a diplomat, Ms. Spear.
Well, most of you should be diplomats on issues like that. Ms. Dibble had said to you that she would help you get a good onward assignment. And I think this committee will help you get a good onward assignment. So we await your, the responsible person for that decision informing us.
I thank the gentlelady, and I'm actually shocked that Mr. Connolly didn't make that a promise to a constituent who could vote.